A brand new giant anaconda species is discovered, and a millennia-old boiling river turns scientists on their heads. These Amazonian anomalies will stun you. First are ancient cities. The Amazon has been inhabited by humans for tens of thousands of years, and for a long time there was a derogatory view of these people being uncivilized hunter-gatherers, when that could not be farther from the truth. Using advanced LiDAR, a series of cities have been discovered throughout the Amazon, some capable of holding tens of thousands of people. These cities are replete with agricultural zones, infrastructure for irrigation and sewage, large canals, temples, ritual sites, road networks, fish farms, and more. It was only very recently that these urban centers in the heart of the jungle were even discovered, and little is known of them. Because they are so remote, it's difficult to determine exactly what the cities are composed of, but they are shockingly advanced. Next is wild cultivation. Another shocking discovery in the Amazon is that of widespread historical cultivation. It turns out the Amazon doesn't just happen to be filled with Brazil nuts, cassava, arrowroot, cacao, hot peppers, sweet potatoes, tobacco, and the other 80-odd domesticated plants. It's been revealed this was the intentional work of generations of cultivators. These plants were concentrated around populated areas, and many cultures to this day practice migratory farming, where they migrate through a series of food patches that each bloom at a different time of year. The modern peoples who live a hunter-gatherer or very remote way of life in the Amazon are to this day surviving off of the agriculture and engineering of people from thousands of years ago. The ancient Amazonians also developed an incredibly fertile sort of soil that they spread across the actually fairly poor quality soil of the Amazon to enrich it. Next is a new anaconda. The green anaconda was long considered to be the king of serpents, the largest snake on Earth. But this has been discovered to not be true, or rather only half true. It was long considered fact that there was only one kind of green anaconda. From Guyana to Peru is the same species. However, it's now been discovered this is completely false. There are in fact two species. The southern species is the most widely distributed and inhabits Brazil and the southern Amazon basin, while the larger and much more powerful northern green anaconda lives in the north, Colombia, Bolivia, and Guyana. The southern anaconda can reach a maximum of 30 feet in length, though usually is more around 20. But the northern anaconda can not only grow longer, but is also stockier and thicker, likely making it more adapted for hunting caimans and other large prey. Next is the boiling river. There is a river the size of a large highway in Peru, and it's boiling. It has been for millennia. But here's where the shocking part comes in. The boiling river, Tempishka, is 400 miles from the nearest volcano. There also has been no geothermal activity discovered beneath the river. So how is it continuously boiling with no geothermal or volcanic activity? The current best hypothesis is that the crust is very thin in this location, and the water actually seeps down until it's close enough to the core to boil when it gets forced upwards through channels formed over thousands of years into this river. But still, scientists aren't certain of much of anything. Next is drought. Anomalous droughts have struck the Amazon for all of the jungle's history, but these anomalies are starting to become a trend, which is seriously disturbing researchers. Anomalous heat events and droughts have become significantly more common and severe over the last 2 decades, and what were once considered anomalies are now being viewed as a growing trend across the rainforest. Drought is now 30 times more likely to occur, and rainfall has been dropping off at an alarming rate. It may sound obvious, but a rainforest without an abundance of rain is set for collapse. Estimates are that if no action is taken, the Amazon will be a dry savanna like the Serengeti in less than 100 years. And finally, the biter. Swimmers in the Amazon were suffering from an incredibly disturbing threat. They would feel a sharp clamping pain and flee from the water, only to find what looks like human teeth marks or even bites that had removed chunks. These bite patterns were fairly small though, but seemed to distinctly human, raising fears and myths of supernatural mermaid-like juveniles that were feasting on people in the water. Even worse was the location of the bites for several men. They had been washing themselves and had been going commando when they suddenly found one of their two berries plucked from the vine, if you will. Known as the ball biter for this horror show, the culprit would finally be caught. The pacu is a relative of piranha that primarily eats nuts, fruits, and other vegetation, but is known to be omnivorous and eat meat, especially during droughts. Their teeth have evolved for an omnivorous lifestyle, which has led them taking a shape very similar to ours, which is disturbing to say the least. Those were strange anomalies in the Amazon jungle scientists can't explain. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.